Hey y'all, it's Taylor. Welcome to another video, an intentional YouTube video, all horizontal style. In today's video, I will be sharing about a liquid diet as a cleansing option, why you may want to consider a liquid diet as a cleansing option, and how it works, as well as the benefits and what I have experienced with experimenting with this type of cleanse. Be sure to check out the links down below. I have a free ebook down there, as well as 40% off all of my ebooks right now with code VEGANUARY to celebrate people trying a vegan lifestyle in January. So what exactly is a liquid diet? How does it work? What do I mean by that? I mean you're consuming only liquids. So that's water, that's fresh vegetable juices, fruit juice if you do that, but I don't really do too much of that. Herbal tea is fine if you feel drawn to that. Hot lemon water and herbal tonics are wonderful. The basis and the foundation, though, are green smoothies, where you get the bulk of your calories from fruits and greens and some healthy fats in there, as well as raw vegan soups for dinner. Or blended salad. You could do a blended salad or use other greens in your soup to make sure you're getting greens in your evening meal. Or you can really pack the greens in your fruit smoothies and leave the soup to be just denser vegetables and additional healthy plant fat. So what this looks like for me is starting every morning with a hot lemon water. I'm usually putting some parsley in there as well. That's my favorite. I like turmeric and ginger in there sometimes, cilantro, and what I do is I cut and peel half of a lemon, flick out the seeds, put it in the blender with a liter of water, and then I'll add in some ginger root, turmeric root, about a half a cup of parsley, half a cup of cilantro, any combination of those elements, blend it, and then strain it through my nut milk bag and sip that in the morning for a nice, wonderful, warming vata soothing drink. And it's wonderful for energy. It's like a natural energy drink with only cleansing, healing, wonderful benefits. And then at about 10 o'clock, I will have celery juice, anywhere from 16 to 32 ounces, followed by a green smoothie, my first green smoothie of the day, and then another green smoothie for lunch. And in those smoothies, I like to put microgreens or sprouts. You could use regular greens too. Nothing wrong with that. There's just more nutrition and micronutrients in those wonderful, beautiful microgreens and sprouts, and I love growing them, so I use those, as well as half a tablespoon of chia seeds for healthy omega-3 fats and to give you that feeling of satiation, and so that you don't drink your smoothie and then you're hungry 30 minutes later, as well as some berries and a heavier fruit like banana or mango. Typically it's banana because I love banana so much, and water, and that's it. More water if you want to drink it as a smoothie, less water if you want it blended more like a smoothie bowl. I like to add cinnamon or passion fruit or some other kind of warming spice or something that'll add a nice flavor and change up the flavor that way. So that is my breakfast and lunch. For dinner, I am doing a raw soup, and that can be anything from like a carrot soup or a broccoli soup, a mushroom soup, cucumber soup, celery soup, any kind of soup you want. Tomato soup is really nice. Soup with sun-dried tomatoes and zucchinis. I have lots of raw vegan soup recipes in my ebooks, and in those soups in the evening, I always like to include some fat. So 2 tablespoons of nut butter, 1/4 cup of soaked nuts or seeds, half an avocado. Though avocados I really don't like to blend. You might like them, but I don't really like the texture blended. I think they have such a lovely texture. So with those, I like to have those on on the top, and you'll see that in a lot of my photos because it's so good that way. And that's it. So I also do an intermittent fasting window from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Technically the lemon water I'm having before that, but that's not enough to really throw me off my game. So that is how it works. If you have any questions about that, leave a comment below. In terms of how long to do it, the beauty is because you're getting adequate nutrients, calories, fiber, water, all the things, carbs, proteins, fats, you can do it for a long time. There's no real limit. It's not like a juice cleanse where it's unsustainable, or a water fast or a coconut water fast where clearly, you know, you're going to need to eat after a certain amount of time, unless you're an advanced yogi meditator living in a cave and you're enlightened and you've transcended the need for food, but most of us are not there. So with this cleanse, you can do it as long as you want, and it's easy, okay? The idea is not to calorie restrict either. Now, if you need to lose weight, then you're gonna want to run a slight caloric deficit. If you want to gain weight, you're gonna need to run a slight caloric surplus. If you want to stay the same, you need to find and make sure you're eating sufficient calories to maintain. And what I'm finding works for how to calculate that, because I've been on the search for that, is if you need to lose some weight, you need to create a slight caloric deficit, you can multiply your ideal body weight times 12. Now, if you were super freaking active, it might be more like 13, but 12 is a good place to start. And if you're in more of a maintenance mode, you multiply your ideal weight times 15. 16, again, if you're like a ultra runner or something, you might need even 17 or 18 or 20. You're probably not trying to lose weight any more than you already are. And then surplus, you would do even more. You would just kind of figure out. Yeah, track your calories, make sure you're hitting them and you're not underdoing it. This is a great tool for weight loss, I will tell you that. And that's kind of going into the benefits. You can do it for any length of time though, and that's what's so beautiful about it. And let's say you're doing it great for a week, but then you have a camping trip or you have something where you need to revert back to like a more normal raw vegan existence. Okay, you revert back, and then when you're back in your regular routine and rhythm, you can get right back on it. The transition is really very seamless. So it's nothing where you're needing to like carefully refeed from it. You can just go back to solid food at any time you want, and then go back to the liquid anytime you want. It's awesome. Benefits. Easy to digest, digestive healing. Friends who are struggling with their digestion, like me, okay? If you are dealing with malabsorption problems and things like that, juicing and smoothies and soups are going to be where it's at for you, because you're going to have a lot easier time processing that. As a result of the reduced digestive burden, you're also going to feel more energized, have more energy, mental clarity, the vitality to be able to do all the things you need to do, and even those things that are annoying and you want to procrastinate. Less energy spent digesting, which means more energy for you. Weight loss, as I mentioned before, I used this formula basically between 2 colon cleanses. This was like my baseline. I was pretty much liquid only for a couple months and lost a lot of weight doing that, running a slight caloric deficit. So it really can be a way to speed up weight loss without doing something like a juice cleanse where you're not consuming fiber, or a water fast where it's so easy for that to totally backfire on you and you end up gaining a lot of weight back. So this is a really good, easy, steady way to take your weight loss to the next level without doing anything that's like too drastic. You're still getting everything you need. You're also getting an influx of very easy to digest, high nutrient foods, and that's wonderful. That's going to increase your absorption and how your body is able to utilize those. So again, if you're having any kind of digestive issues, this can be a really great tool to use. It's a great cleanse for beginners. Let's say you're someone, you're just starting out, you're new to a vegan lifestyle, aspiring for maybe raw vegan one day, you want to do a water fast or a juice cleanse, but that's very intimidating, or you're not sure how to do it. This is a really great place to start, and you can get a lot of healing this way, and it's sustainable healing. And if at some point you want to use one of those other modalities, you may feel more prepared to do that after having some success with this. Of course, you can do it for a day or 3 days or 5 days or 7 days. It doesn't have to be months like I did, but it's so easy. I had no trouble doing it for a long time. I think that's a testament to how easy it is, not to like how strong my willpower is or something. Skin clearing. My skin noticeably improved. My skin is so soft. There's no acne, there's no rashes, there's nothing funky going on with my skin. It has improved dramatically. Meanwhile, my hair is growing really fast. My nails are really strong and healthy. And I think it's so important to make sure you're getting the greens in and the nutrients in. Other mental benefits, mental clarity, more sharpness, more creativity, inspiration. You're like a clearer channel for ideas to run through, and you have the energy to actually execute them. Some other benefits you might notice are a peaceful mood, feelings of contentment, more connection, feelings of connection, harmony, love, enhanced focus and concentration, joy, finding pleasure in the little things, inspiration to lock in other habits, other healthy habits maybe you haven't had the time for. You will likely feel inspired to start incorporating other elements as you really start dialing your health in and finding this simplicity in this protocol. It takes the guesswork out. It's really easy to plan and prep for this. You can make all your juices and smoothies first thing in the morning, and what I like to do is also prep my dinner and just leave the ingredients out at room temp in the blender ready to go with like the water I'm going to blend into it, so that those cold vegetables can come up to room temperature, so I have a warmer soup in the evening. And that's super streamlined. You know, you can knock out all your food prep in under an hour first thing in the morning, and you're not having to worry about it. You're not having to think, oh my gosh, what am I gonna eat? You know, it's already ready for you. It's also a very pain-free experience. No pain in any of my joints. Enhanced flexibility. Granted, I do a lot of stretching. You may feel inspired to start stretching every day because you actually start feeling good in your body. My body feels very fluid after doing this, and hydrated, well hydrated too. I also wanted to talk about this from an Ayurvedic perspective. Now, if you're like, who? Ayurveda is an ancient Indian medicine system. It's deeply connected and intertwined with yoga. So if you're a yogi, you probably have heard of it. If not, you can discover what your dosha is. There's a free quiz that is linked in the description there, and you can take it and figure out what you are. But this type of cleanse is tridoshic. It's balancing for all three doshas in Vata, Pitta, and Kapha dosha. This is kind of like the raw vegan equivalent of doing a cleanse with khichdi, which is the combination of rice and lentils and spices that is used in Ayurveda as a healing, cleansing very sattvic diet. This is, in my opinion, is the raw vegan equivalent because it has fiber, it has nutrition, it's whole, complete food. It's just in its very simplest, easiest to digest form. So it's kapha reducing. It reduces mucus in the body. If you do it without salt, it means no water retention. It'll be very, very helpful for releasing water. As I mentioned, it is a great tool for weight loss, which can also be aggravated when kapha is too high. Some other things include less feelings of heaviness, more feelings of lightness, more energy to move about and get going. It's helpful for the digestive fire, will assist with mental clarity and quickness. These are qualities that often get stagnant in kapha when kapha is too high and out of balance. For Pitta dosha, it's anti-inflammatory soothing power for Pitta dosha, which tends to be highly inflamed when it's out of balance. Morning ginger turmeric water, celery juice, fiber-rich smoothies and soups to stay fuller longer. Pitta's hunger is often out of balance, is very high, insatiable, and those ginger, lemon, turmeric waters will be very soothing and anti-inflammatory for Pitta. Just make sure you don't overdo it with the ginger because that can be a little too fiery for fiery Pitta. Make sure to include bananas and heartier veggies like carrot or pumpkin to ensure you have solid stools as opposed to diarrhea the whole time, because Pitta's digestion can be too fast, too quick. And of course, as always with Pitta, watch the spices, watch your heat level. For Vata dosha, this type of cleanse is wonderful because, again, you're not restricting calories. You're likely not to lose weight if you're eating enough, and you're able to include healthy plant fats in every meal without them being too hard to digest. You know, it's a lot easier to soak, drain, and blend nuts into a soup and digest that than it is to eat the same amount of nuts just raw and whole. It's a lot easier to break that down. In Vata, when it's out of balance, Vata by nature is rough in quality, and this is a very smooth, pacifying type of cleanse which will soothe Vata's roughness. The fact that it's all easy to digest is wonderful because Vata's digestion can often tend towards constipation and irregularity. Warm soup will also be on point. Be sure not to use too many frozen fruits, or at the very least let those thaw out before you use them so that you don't get too cold. And in your smoothies, you might want to include cinnamon and other warming spices like apple pie spice, pumpkin pie spice, nutmeg, cloves, cardamom. Ensure your smoothies are room temp. Keep produce out where possible. These are very common tips for Vata. Drink as much hot herbal tea as you desire to stay warm and nourished. And of course, ensure adequate calories. And that's really it from an Ayurvedic perspective. A lot of people ask me, what kind of cleanse can I do, you know, that's Ayurvedic, but I don't want to eat khichdi, I want to stay raw. This is where to go. This is what I recommend. So that is how you do it. It's really simple. It's really awesome. Y'all comment below if you've done anything like this or if you have any questions. As I said, check out the links in the description for my free ebook as well as the sale, the 40% off all my ebooks with code VEGANUARY, all lowercase. I also offer coaching. I'll be sharing more about that in the future. And thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe for more videos. I'll be sharing one a week at least. That's my minimum. And like this video if you like it. Again, thanks so much for being here. Much love to you. Namaste.